Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to another episode of How I Got Into. Today I'll be telling you how I got into 21 Pilots, one of my favorite bands out there. And I think this story is quite interesting because there was a long time from the first time I listened to a song of them to when I finally became a fan of them. Actually, my friend Luis used to make fun of me because he used to say I got into them super late. Okay, so just as with Taylor Swift, I remember the exact date I listened to a 21 Pilots song for the first time. That was on May 21, 2016, in my birthday. I did a birthday party and at some point we were just chilling there. So one of my friends, Enrique, pulled out his phone and played the Tom Size remix of Stressed Out. At the time, I was super into electronic music, so when I heard it, I was like, yo, this is fire. I kept listening to that version of the song for some weeks maybe, until I came across with the original version of Stressed Out. I think it was on the radio, because it was during that period after the release of Blurryface that 21 Pilots had gotten super popular. And I remember I didn't like it. I thought the original was super boring compared to the remix version. On a side note, when I was making this video, I went to listen to this Tom Size remix again, and I was like, this is a little bad. Now I'm much more a fan of the original version, by far. I don't remember when exactly, but some days later after that, I listened to Ride, and I loved it, to the point where it became my most listened song of 2016. And around the same time, Heathens was released as the lead single for the soundtrack of the Suicide Squad movie. A movie I was actually excited for. Yeah, I was. So I went to check the song. And again, I loved it. I don't understand the hate it got and still gets, because it's such a good song. And I want to say something here, because it really annoys me the hate Stressed Out, Right, and Heathens get for being popular. Today, there are still many toxic fans trying to gatekeep the band, saying stuff like, oh, your favorite song is Right, you're not a real fan, my favorite album is regional at best, they became sold out with Blurryface. Shut the hell up, please. I'm actually glad that these songs got such a big recognition, because they allowed the world to know about 21 Pilots, and there's millions of fans out there, me included, who got into them thanks to these songs. Sorry, I've had that inside for a long time, needed to get it out. Let's make the clique a nice fandom again. Back to the story. Even when I really liked those 3 songs, I still didn't mind to check more stuff from them for the next 3 years. I really don't know why I didn't, but it was until 2019 when I really got into them. I have this friend, great friend of mine, whose favorite album at the moment was Blurryface. We even joked saying that the only music he listened to was the one from Blurryface, which was actually true. The thing is, I decided to give it a listen, and it was mind-blowing, one of the albums I've been surprised by the most. It was love at first listen. I became obsessed with it. I remember there was a day where I listened to this album like 3 times. But now I wanted to keep listening to more of their stuff, and I don't remember how, but I ended up listening to The Hype. And I was seriously fascinated by that song. I felt as if I had to listen to Trench, because if the other songs on the record had the same quality level as The Hype, then it was going to be a really good album. And spoiler, it was. In fact, more than 2 years later, my friends say I'm still in my Trench phase. But what can I say? The album is excellent. After Trench, I went to listen to Vessel, and that was probably the point of no return. Because for the rest of the year, I was super into 21 Pilots. And I still am. In 2020 and 2021, I kept listening to a bunch of their music, watching interviews, live performances, and I listened to their albums quite often. Last year I was super excited for the release of Scale and Icy, because it was going to be released on my birthday, and I had been waiting for new material from them for a while, so it was great. I think I listened to that record like 5 times a day, at least. It's super safe to say that these guys are among my favorite artists of all time. Their music has had a huge impact in my life, and they are one of the bands I admire the most. Looking at live performances from the Vessel era or the Don't Look Back in Anger cover they did at Reading Festival are some of the most inspiring performances I've seen from any artist. The connection they have with the fans is amazing. Now, if you want to get into them, I'll leave a list of songs over here that I think you like a lot. But I especially recommend you to check their albums, especially Trench, Blurryface, and Vessel. The 3 of them are magnificent albums that you should definitely give a listen to. And that was the story of how I got into 21 Pilots. I really want to thank my friend Luis for insisting so much that I had to listen to them. Next week I'll be publishing a video where I'll be ranking all of their albums. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. Check my music if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate if you do, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to go check it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I've been waiting for years, hoping there's still a chance that you'll come visiting someday. Don't care if the guns are rusty, the bullet's black, you can still pretend it's one on the list for a last time.